just to another device.
Is there audio now?
We're good.
Can someone
We have audio, yep.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. Sorry about that. In case my sign language didn't come through.
Yeah, your lip reading is not up to up to par here.
This is the weekly 034 Motorsport live chat, episode 162. I'm Javad Shadzi. This is Nate Stewart. We're here to answer all your 034 related questions and concerns. And anything else you'd like to talk about, feel free to ask. And we even get woofed sometimes. Do we really have like 15 questions?
They are piling in quick.
Okay, so we take a no BS approach to responding. We cut to the chase, and we don't beat around the bush.
I think all those are accurate.
We don't cut the bush, as Nick would say.
We have been woofed.
Yes, we got woofed. If you ask an update question about when something is going to be available, we probably won't respond because, again, it just seems to cause more issues. So we're focusing more on answering questions and the content. So let's jump right in. Someone says, "Hello, boys from 034. Update on full bolt-on stage 2 91. I ran 11.56 at 118. And on 93, ran 11.36 at 120. I will continue to push the envelope on my 91 and 93. P.S. I'm jacked out of my mind for revision R3.0. Take care." Right.
I think that's good.
That's a good thing? Yeah. Jacked out of your mind? I don't know what all the Gen Y kids are saying these days. Well, great. Great times. Sounds like you're having fun. That's what it's all about.
Smoking.
Yeah. Nice improvement on the 93, too. I get an exhaust flap fault code which limits boost power on stage 1, but stock there is no error. I unplugged exhaust flaps and boost returns.
I unplugged exhaust flaps and boost. That all sounds backwards to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what vehicle let us know what vehicle this is. Some are fussier than others. The Daza cars, this can be an issue. The B9 stuff, it's not usually an issue. RS5, it could be an issue, but we code all that out, so it isn't an issue. So we really need to know what application this is, but there should not be any reduction in power with just your exhaust flaps, like if we're talking the sound actuating stuff in the back, plugged or unplugged, because we have to support aftermarket exhausts that don't have them. So, shoot your info to Tuning at with all your details, and we can certainly take a look.
More info is always good.
That shouldn't be the case.
Kind of like the next question. B9.5 S5 Stage1. Any recommendations to improve handling during deceleration maneuvers? Rear end gets light. Would a bigger spoiler significantly help in this scenario? It would be helpful to know what you've already done.
Yeah. And
if the car's bone stock, then there's a lot that we offer that you could do and start with. Generally on the street, a bigger spoiler, is this a
big arrow?
Yeah. Like for a wing?
Yeah.
Wings do help with downforce and rear end stability, but generally at higher speeds, and it's really hard to get that effect on the streets.
Yeah, if you're talking also into like braking, where you're substantially reducing speed and obviously hauling down quite a lot, that wing, if you wanted to act at lower speeds to give you some more stability, that's going to mean that it's going to be a massively, aggressive wing that's going to be a lot of downforce and a lot of resistance at speed as well.
But the first thing I would recommend is our lowering springs and our Dyno plus sway bar package.
Yeah, control the dive, and then alignment affects that a lot.
And alignment would help too. But if you haven't done that modification, start there. But yeah, rear end lightness on a street car with a stock suspension is pretty common. I mean, they're geared more for comfort than handling.
Your weight balance just goes on the nose.
Yeah, especially at the stock ride height, you have more suspension travel and softer springs. What should R3.0 improve? Can you go more into depth about the newest B9 S4 S5 revision?
It was in the email. I think it was pretty well bulleted out, but it's a lot of the just the continued progress and calibration and testing and refinement that we did. So we've been much more active right now on the hybrid turbo files. So the 810, 750 primarily right now. and
Should we
just optimizing all that. I mean,
you just go through
pull
the-
it down. Yeah, we've got
the advertised features. So these are as listed on our
The email
website and the email.
and the Facebooks and everywhere we posted.
So launch control optimizations, improved launch control set point through optimized transmission stall strategies, improves post-launch torque control for improved acceleration. This is controlling the transmission to achieve a faster launch that delivers more power through the launch to get faster, essentially 60-foot times if you're drag racing, but just getting off the line much quicker. This will improve your 0 to 60 times and things like that. Rev limiter optimizations for a broader range of operating conditions. Anything specific you want to say about that?
No, that's just making sure that the rev limiters are consistent across all the boxes, that they're out of the way for, we had some situations where some TCU shift points, it would get, we were a little too tight on what the engine limiter was to what the transmission shift points were. And then some real edge cases, you'd kind of bump the engine limiter as it was trying to complete the TCU shift. So I was just cleaning up some stuff like that across the board.
Coolant temperature target refinements, same kind of thing. We learn a lot about these tunes and how they operate on in these cars and on these ECUs. As time goes by, we learn more.
Yeah.
This is the same reason why cell phone companies release new phones every year and new laptops every year, and
it's the same reason anything is new. There's new versions of this engine management strategy didn't exist previous to the B9 because Audi and Volkswagen learned a ton of stuff.
So part of it is what we're learning. Part of it is as we accomplish more control over the ECUs, we can extend this functionality to other calibrations. And so a lot of times we will just say that we're optimizing some part of the ECU or the calibration, and that just means we're applying what we've learned. We're applying new tuning strategies that we've accomplished. We're putting all this value into your tune and no charge to you for free.
Yep.
And this is a continual improvement process that will never end. And I think sometimes it's tough for us because there's this really terrible trope out there that if you do a revision, it means that your previous file was bad and you made a mistake.
There should never be any progress.
And that's not what this is about. This is about continual, learning and improvements. Is revision 3.0 better than revision 2.0? Yes.
Yeah.
Because of the continued work and energy that we put in over time. And if you guys are still buying B9s and tuning them in 20 years, we will continue to refine and develop.
There's going to be more revisions coming for more stuff we're going to be doing. So this is not the end.
Okay, what happened to
everything should be at the
list? No, it's been deleted.
It's all the way at the top.
Sorry.
Coolant temperature control refinements to the power reduction gradient when reducing output to control heat.
Yep.
Again, refinements and optimizations of the ECU's heat management.
Yeah, that was feedback a lot from our last, I think, round of testing at Laguna Seca. Some of the drivers reported the D rate came on a little hard. We were being a little aggressive how quickly we were pulling power out, so we kind of.
I personally specifically spent a lot of time evaluating this and giving feedback to the calibration team, and I think we made a nice improvement based on the work that we did at that track day and other data that was collected. Further lambda target and fueling enrichment optimization based on load and EGTs for cylinder cooling and fuel enrichment.
Yep. This is optimizing everything we can.
Yeah, this is our continued effort to move the calibration further away, from potential issues or danger, and widening the margin of safety that the calibration operates in. That doesn't mean that our old tunes were dangerous. It doesn't mean that you were on the ragged edge before. There's a cliff there, and before the file was 8 feet away from the cliff, and now it's 10 feet away from the cliff. And it's just to give more safety without giving really anything up.
It's also not just safety. It's just we're trying to standardize also our strategies across all these files with all the stuff we've learned. We're able to react, quicker, or we're able to just have tighter control over,
Yeah.
different situations that we've tested and evaluated more.
But these updates are, if you saw when we did our stage 3 calibration updates with our standard output and high output files, that was what we talked about, is moving away, away from
all of that,
from danger and giving more margin of safety. And then, like I said, continued optimizations and improving the functionality overall. High side fuel pressure control optimizations for tighter control and accuracy. Why don't you explain that a little bit?
That's just so the everything in the car's control, the engine, the ECU is controlling. Almost everything is within what's called a PID loop. So that's basically a mathematical function that's going to say, I want to hit this target, and you've got this moving system that's coming up trying to meet that set point or something.
Which is what's behind closed loop
control of anything. So almost always you've got this target. Your actual value will come up, overshoot a little bit, correct, and you get this little back and forth wave until it finally settles. And depending on how you do the PID, you can more accurately hit that given the parameters of the PID and how it's all set up with feed forward tables and a bunch of other things. But what the high pressure pump refinement is we're just trying to more accurately come up, nail that pressure target. The first time as close and tight as we can without an overshoot or an undershoot. So it's just more work. We're outside of OEM parameters on a lot of this stuff because they're targets that they're not mapped for or whatever, what have you. So
so the more you can calibrate that PID with balancing the three different, the PID, the proportional, and the integral
and the derivative. So
you can hit the target faster with, as Nate said, less over or under.
Yeah, and it just makes it more consistent. If you're not leaning on this reactive control and you're able to much more tightly nail it the first time based on it just takes data and training models for these PID systems. That's generally how they all get set up in the first place.
And lastly, ignition timing refinements during gear shift events to optimize shift quality and boost control.
Yep, same thing. Closed loop boost, and then when you do a gear shift, you're doing a big torque reduction. That's usually with timing and or fuel. Depending on how much timing you pull, that creates basically a little bit of an anti-lag event. It's typically blocked. And so this is just to help control that again more accurately, so that you get less of a boost wiggle essentially after you shift points.
Yeah. All right. So that's all that. And if you have any more questions, let us know.
Somebody's asking, do we still have to re-request the no-crackle files, or the file will already be available? I believe we're trying to get all of those up at the same time, so you'll have the no-crackles as well.
Will this update include adjustable launch control?
No, advanced launch is going to be later. This is just as what's on the boxes is what we're pushing in this one.
We are still working on it.
We'll have more updates coming.
Does the new update make the 3.0T tune feel more aggressive or more power or just minor tweaking?
I don't think you're going to feel...
You shouldn't really feel it. I mean, you're not going to feel a small difference in fuel enrichment. You're not going to feel... You should feel like a faster launching and acceleration.
Yeah, that's a good point. The launch control might feel a little different and or better and smoother. But as far as the driving, none of that's been really... altered.
Yeah, and none of this update is to increase the output of the file or anything like that.
No, these updates are
not the peak out.
Very much kind of like the behind the curtain that you would get from most companies, where it's just like, hey, we got a new update, and they just roll it out. And we're trying to give you kind of a lot more insight on what's happening, what the update.
You get updates like this every day on your phone. It's just and the companies do release information about it, and you don't read it because you just download it.
Yeah.
So since this is a enthusiast product and you're so connected to it, you guys want to know, and so we talk about it in more detail than probably most software companies do.
Some of you are still saying you haven't seen the portal yet. Yeah, as it says in the email, we're working on getting all those up right now. They'll be hitting. I think most of the B9 stuff will be hitting the server in the next day. 2 at the most to have full coverage for that, and then B9.5 is coming right along behind it.
I want to buy a high-pressure fuel pump for my B9 S4, but I've heard that your high-pressure fuel pump tool is difficult to use. What tool should I buy? Well, Sean, this is one of these planted questions by our marketing team,
we can usually cipher or pick those out.
but we know there's lots of people asking this. So we have released a new B9 high pressure fuel pump tool. Here it is. There's not a lot to it. It's a socket that we machine that interfaces with the piston retainer. So remove it, and it features a 1/2 inch. This is 3/8, huh?
Yeah, 3/8 and a 24.
No, that's half.
It's half inch, bro.
Mine is calibrated. Yeah, no, it's at. I did see 3/8, and I thought I was like, "Ooh, that's a little small." It's definitely.
Oh my god.
It has a 1/2 inch drive provision. This replaces our previous shitty tool that we've been selling. We're sorry, that was a huge piece of shit. I
don't know what tool we're talking about.
I'm not afraid to admit it. We are a good engineering company, but that one got fucked up. So I'm 100% here to say I'm sorry. And this is the tool that we should have released. If you've bought one of those other tools and tried to use it, I'm sorry.
Which one?
It's this terrible looking one right here.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys.
We had an engineer. I won't go into details, but stuff happens. And so as a small token of our sincere sorrow and embarrassment, if you've bought one of those tools, please email customer service with proof of purchase, and we will send you one of these awesome new ones for free. And if you haven't bought a tool and you'd like to buy a tool that's a pleasure to use, this is it right here. So yeah, again, sorry we fucked that up, but this is the right tool, and we will be happy to send you one if you have one of our other ones. You don't even have to send the other one back. I would say you can burn it, but it's stainless steel and won't burn.
Be a nice keychain if you want to rip your ignition into your car.
Yeah, you could like throw it around a chain.
So I think the 3/8 might have been a carryover. I think that one was 3/8.
No, it was written by them. I'll update it later.
No, I think it's just a typo.
But it's definitely not 3/8.
And this is $22. And it also features a 24 millimeter hex, so you can actually put a socket over this.
Or a wrench.
Or an open-end wrench, but I'd recommend. You're going to need like a breaker bar, something like that. So anyways, if you have any questions, let us know. B9 high-pressure fuel pump tool. And all the whatever else the B9 pump fits. Will there be any TCU improvements for the B9 RS5 to address its poor launch quality or launch control? Competitors are doing it better, and I think it's the only thing holding back the tune.
Oh, no, I think what they're talking about is right now the launch control setup, especially on the RS5, we're trying to balance the best of what most people are launching with, which would be a street tire on a street on the street, or like an unprepped surface, you could say. So yeah, there's more sauce we could give it if you've got a better setup, but that's probably I believe that's what they're talking about. It's just they want the full beans wheel spinning launch.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we have the fastest time.
Yeah,
like nobody's beat our drag time. So I don't know what they're doing better about it, but
no, I think that's all it is. It's just the launch. So we've talked about it too, whether we were going to offer 2 different versions of that as well.
We have discussed continuing to refine the calibration just like we do in all of our calibrations. But if you're referring to IE, they still haven't matched our time. So maybe individual users are running faster on their file than ours. I'm not sure, but
yeah. So yeah, we'll take a look at that again.
Okay. Where's the mobile tuning announced during Jackal hype? Then nothing.
Announced during Jackal hype.
That's not true.
Just because you might have tuned in at that time. We've been talking about this for some time.
We did not announce it related to anything to do with Jackal. We are continuing to work on it. In fact, I was on a call this morning working on it with the calibration team. So it is ongoing, and we we need to release it as a business that needs this product. So it will be out when it's finished and ready for prime time. And that's a very concerted effort right
Somebody's asking if advanced launch control is going to be released with mobile tuning. That has nothing to do with mobile tuning.
now. No, those are separate.
Totally separate. The mobile, the app and the mobile flashing stuff is just it's a tool, it's a delivery method and a data logging thing, but it has nothing to do with the calibration on the control unit itself.
2023 RS5. Do we have any packages up for the RS5 yet?
They are, but if you're already stage 1 and want to upgrade, we don't have anything for that.
If you're already stage 1.
Oh, you know, like coming from
It
like
would be from stock 2.
Yeah, so someone's asking 2023 RS5, is there a package deal with going from stage 1 to stage 3, or would I just buy the necessary hardware software individually? I'll probably stick with stage 1 at least for a bit once the ECU is unlocked, but I'm sure I'll be tempted to go to the TTE 720s. You mean the TCU is unlocked?
ECU. We have one box code that we're actually we just news. We have that file now, and we are working on it, and we'll have the calibration.
So that one is unlocked.
Yeah.
If you'd like, reach out to our marketing team, or maybe you guys can PM, and we can put together a quote for you with all the extra parts you can need.
Yeah, it's
sweeten up the deal.
It's tricky setting up those packages because where are you starting from and what are you going
Yeah.
to? You have to hit like every iteration of the package to every next iteration of the package.
Yeah, and we hit those one off. The marketing team can send you a quote with everything you need and make it easy for you. New B9 S5 Stage1 ECU 93 octane Stage 2 TCU customer. The TCU version in my flash portal is R1.10 E85. I'm assuming there's no 93 specific octane variant, right? Is there?
Sorry, I missed that.
Is there a TCU difference?
There is a TCU difference on B9s, yes,
Yeah.
between 91, 93,
So
and
does he not-
85.
does
So
he-
you should never. I can't think of any situation where we'd have just E85 up and not the others. So
Yeah. Because once you buy the ECU, the
well,
ECU,
the TCU you get all
Yeah, you
all
get
the
all
maps
of them.
available. So I'm not sure on that one.
I would say email content tuning.
Yep. Email tuning out just so we can confirm what you're seeing in the portal.
Tuning at 034motorsport.com. They'll be able to help you with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just sees like what was already flashed on the TCU showing E85 still. I'm not sure. Yeah, hit up tuning in.
Custom tuners in New York City have successfully unlocked the B9.5 TCUs, and it appears that IE has also achieved this. What might be the reason for 034 not offering a similar solution?
I don't
because
know. We're working
because
on it. Yeah, I don't know that IE has yet. I haven't seen any indication.
IE has not. They said they did, but
they did say that along. Yeah,
like months ago.
They said that when they launched like the B9 TCU stuff before they knew about the 2023 things.
But no, we've never seen or heard of anyone who's actually
there was actually some stuff over this weekend that I have not seen much on, but yes, some people have. We're working on it. We have been for a bit. I would say things are getting close, so
I'm
tuned.
a little skeptical about what was posted this weekend. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah,
but this isn't really the type of thing that a small custom tuner can necessarily do. If they did, hats off to them. But your question makes it sound like we're really late to the game and everyone else has had it and we've somehow not done it. And the fact of the matter is IE has not done it. And if someone has done it, they just did it on Saturday.
Right.
It's Monday.
Right.
So,
and everybody's working on the same thing and it's usually.
And if they've done it, we'll have it very soon as well.
There's all these other tool providers out there that are working on it as well.
Yeah.
So it's very likely if anybody's posting about it, one of these tools has likely got them testing it or something of that nature.
But the reason we haven't offered it is because nobody's been able to offer it, including us, and we will be, right to market as soon as anyone else has as well. Hopefully, cleared up some confusion there. C7A6 3.0T max efforts. Talking to level 10 transmissions on building my trans with a higher stall converter and higher pressure valve body. If you've had experience with level 10, what are your thoughts?
I haven't heard that name in a while.
I know.
We used to deal with them with the old Tiptronic, like B5,
The B5
and
era, it was a
C5 era.
I would not. I mean, again, I don't have any.
And those transmissions in general, to be fair, were pretty much a nightmare.
They sucked, but I feel like level 10 in the B5 era. Again, I don't have any experience with them with any like the ZF transmissions, but in the Tiptronic era, I feel like they were able to install some heavy duty, nice hardware in the transmissions, but none of it worked properly because of the TCU. They had no TCU solution, and then they would tell customers, "Oh, all you need to do is this, this, and this," and then the customers would come to us and be like, "Do this, those things," and then we'd try it, and it wouldn't work, and then they would just throw their hands up because like, "Well, we only do the hardware. You're gonna have to figure out the software soon." So I was never impressed with them, and I had a number of bad experiences on big builds that we did with them, and I stopped working with them, but. Maybe they've got stuff figured out, but
I don't know what you need to really improve on the
that's what I was going to say.
The ZF8 or a max effort on a 3-liter motor. Like, what do you? Well, I guess what is the question that?
What do you hope they call?
Yeah, what's the solution you're looking for? Because most of that is likely on the software side for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. On the new revision of the 9.5, is a track time supposed to be better, or is it getting less time?
Less time. It should be. Well, if I'm going to guess it's the same or maybe a little better, more consistent, because, like I said, we've kind of tightened up some of the boost control stuff and the shift. Like I said before, the boost oscillation during shifts. So I would assume it'd be the same or better.
Mm-hmm. Some of these questions. Did you guys hit a wall with the B9 platform?
What does that mean?
Oh no! Let me answer. I'll answer. No. All right. Next question. Any update on rolling amax engagement on B9.5 3.0 T platform?
The B9.5 rolling amax engagement. No. Rolling amax. That's not something.
What is rolling amax?
Typically, it's putting the TCU into like an amax shift strategy while rolling.
Oh.
No, that's not something we've really put anything into on that.
As opposed to from a launch.
As opposed to from a launch, yeah. You kind of have to have one or the other, and it's going to be an all or nothing depending on the mode you're in.
It's not something we have currently. I guess we can keep an eye on it. Are no-crackle files more fuel efficient? I understand performance is not affected.
Technically, a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
You are dealing with some overrun fueling that is still enabled for a second or so.
Yeah, I mean the fact of the matter is the crackle component is generated by fuel that does nothing to to move the car,
to motivate the vehicle.
Yeah, so it's literally infinite negative miles per gallon. So yes, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're just going around crackling around town all day, it could be 5-10% of your fuel mileage.
Yeah,
and I know plenty of people that
just
do
crackling all day long.
And it's a thing.
Oh no, any BMW you follow that's tuned,
yeah,
definitely a thing.
But I think if you're just driving normally and it popped and crackled a few times, it's probably like a really small amount of fuel. But the amount of fuel it takes to create that pop is not very much.
It is actually, it's quite small because it's basically a zero load thing. You're just.
I mean, if it was a substantial enough amount of fuel, it would probably blow your exhaust apart, or
Yeah, because all the energy is basically in the turbine,
like a little mini bomb going off inside your exhaust manifold. Or if it was so much, then it just wouldn't combust. So
yeah,
it's just a fine atomized amount of fuel that gives you the pop. Is going full bolt-on 034 Stage 2 on Mark 8 GTI reliable?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Single
rock solid. Very, very reliable. Do dump valves cause issues with your tunes? I'm stage 293 and I've been getting limp mode and drive system malfunction whenever I do a hard pull. Some people have been saying the diverter valve could be.
I don't know if this is the gentleman I was talking to over the weekend about this on Facebook, but yeah, we've seen a number of aftermarket diverter valves can and have caused issues.
Yeah.
All of that is very tightly controlled from the ECU and what it expects for rate of, basically pressure change in the intake tract, and all of that's monitored and controlled. So yeah, if you're getting fault codes for your diverter valve and you have an aftermarket diverter valve installed, that's usually the culprit.
Definitely remove it, and I'm sure your codes will go away. My buddy took his Stage 1 Plus B9 RS5 to a dynojet dyno day over the weekend and made 525 wheel horsepower. Super impressive numbers. Keep up the good work. Yeah, that's great. That must be on E85, I'm guessing.
It didn't say, yeah.
Yeah. Any more power in the new stock turbo files, or are these changes more optimized? Yeah, if you listen to our discussion earlier, it's 100% based on optimizations and applying what we've learned. There's nothing in there that increases peak horsepower, although there are times and conditions where more power will be delivered to the tires based on the new tuning strategies. How does purchasing the tunes work? Do I buy Stage 1 and then I upgrade? Do I purchase Stage 2, or is there a discount? Yeah, so we make it really easy and fair. So you buy Stage 1, let's say it's $800. And if Stage 2 is $1,000, then when you go to upgrade to Stage 2, you would only pay the difference of $200. And so we only charge you one price for everything, and you just pay as you go and upgrade. There's almost no cases where you have to ever buy anything twice or pay twice, but
no, not for anything the same power level or even close to it.
But yeah, and then if you look on our website, there's a drop down and you can purchase, say, if you want to, it says purchase upgrade from Stage 1 to Stage 2, and you would buy that. On the back end, our tuning team would verify that you are in fact a Stage 1 user, and then they would add the Stage 2 files to your account as well, and you would keep the Stage 1 file, so you still have access to everything you've ever purchased. Let us know if you have any more questions on that. Will your EA839 tune work on my 4M.5 Q7? God, I wish. Not yet.
Not yet. We do have
something
for that.
But that would be really, really nice.
Yeah, they're not the same engine or control boxes or anything. It's its own. Yeah, it's its own set of calibrations, even from the other CREC motors.
I want to make 12. Is this a real question?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. So here's a hypothetical question. I want to make 1200 horsepower on my 4.0T, but there are no good mount solutions. The other billet options in the market only have a single shear point that seem weak. Yeah, totally agreed. Will you bring a Motorsport mount like your daza mounts to the market? Yes. So we happen to have right here our brand new 4.0T motor mounts. These fit all C7,
D4,
even D4 S8 stuff. This is what we call our street sport motorsport mount. This is a stiff mount designed for ultimate performance considerations with virtually no compromises for comfort. So that means that there are two very stiff rubber mounts that do the isolation. The motor connects to this. This connects to your frame rail. These will transmit a lot of vibration, noise, and harshness into the vehicle. They will result in virtually no movement of your engine during shifts or changes in load as you get on and off the throttle. Shifts will feel much more direct and instantaneous, and much less power will go to kind of compressing the stock mounts. The other thing is these will hold up to just anything you can throw. Like the question said, 1200 horsepower, no problem. They're again not for necessarily the average street user. These are for people who are making a lot of power, who are drag racing, who are racing or going to the track, or people who drive on the street who don't care about NVH and just want the strongest, stiffest mount possible. So we are currently working on a resistor bypass solution, which keeps the will help keep the factory ECU happy. I believe we found an engineering solution to address that. It's not as simple as just a resistor. There's actually a little circuit that we had to build, but we should have that available soon. If you do this now, you will have a code for the mounts. But anyways, we just wanted to round out the product line. We have our density line 4.2 mounts already, which have been very popular. And this is based on popular feedback for people looking for, a racing type mount. That's literally, you can't build a motor that makes enough power to hurt this mount. And we actually offer a lifetime warranty on all these Motorsport mounts because they are indestructible. If you have any questions, let us know. SQ5 S34 air intake release and mobile tune. Okay, that's an update question. Dang it.
Snuck it in.
Everything is going to be released as soon as it's finished and ready for sale.
Yep.
Finally got my lower control arms in for the B9 S4. Thank you. Unfortunately, I still have not received the camera arms from the package deal. Shows in stock on your site. Did I miss something? I did reach out to customer service. Let's see. Yeah, so those should ship very soon if they haven't already. Based on, I don't have this information in front of me, but I hear and see things, and those were being worked on last week. What happens is our website accesses a database of what's in stock and what's out of stock. And if we have all the materials to build a product, our website lists it as in stock, because in most cases we can assemble and build that within 2 or 3 days and ship it. Sometimes there are delays and it takes longer. So the materials are all in stock. It's just the manufacturing department just has to package and assemble and ship it. In this case, we apologize. It's taken a little longer to do that. However, you should have gotten a response by now if you emailed on Tuesday. So I wonder what happened there. Can you look into that, Sean?
Yeah, we'll check it out for you guys.
Yeah. You should get a response within a day or two. Has 034 considered developing a larger, more robust, high-pressure fuel pump for the B9 RS5, not just a piston upgrade?
We're working on a bunch of fueling stuff for those right now.
A larger, high-pressure fuel pump is not necessarily the answer. You can't just keep remedying.
There's reasonable limitations too to what you can do for the high-pressure pump and being able to control and meter it properly, and then also what you can load the cam with. So yeah, there's a lot to consider there.
Mm-hmm. Is there a catless tuning file for my B9 S4? Catless.
I mean, we have our stage 2 files.
Yeah, our stage 2 files will work with catless for racing use only.
Mm-hmm.
We generally recommend running our high flow racing cat. That will make the same power as a test pipe without the noxious fumes and black soot all over your bumper and extra pollution to the environment. Will 034 COILPACKS have any noticeable change on my B9 S4? Not really. We talk about this all the time. Ignition coils are not a power adder device. They're a power supporter device. And so if you need more ignition energy, the spark plug will use it. But giving the combustion chamber a hotter spark does not make more power. It just means you start the combustion, propagate combustion the same. The time when your power is affected by ignition is when it's not enough. And so you get misfires, and that's when you lose power because you're literally just missing out on cylinder combustion events. So the goal with our ignition coils, like any high output ignition coil in this type of application, would be to create consistent spark power for consistent combustion for smooth power delivery without any misfires or interruptions of power. That's what our coils do, and in many cases, factory coils age, they get weaker, And instead of replacing them with another factory coil, we're offering this higher quality, slightly higher output version that will continue to combust all your combustion needs.
Yep.
Propagate all your combustion needs.
Initiate.
Someone's saying Billet B9 engine mounts, question mark. Yes, right here.
There you go.
Would the MercRacing supercharger require better rods for the bottom end? We're
not seeing that just yet. I mean, from a torque standpoint, no. I mean, I'm running probably the highest PR ratio that seems reasonable right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely making more torque in the mid-range for sure. But I mean, it's holding up just fine.
Yeah, I mean, the supercharged 3.0T is not a torque monster, not like the B9 turbo is.
Yeah, and it's all about the airflow delivery, right?
Yeah.
The turbos, you can give it a bunch more in the mid-range, whereas the supercharger is going to just climb the red line.
Yeah, because the turbo can force so much more air into the motor at low RPMs, then the torque value increases substantially, simply due to where the power is being created. In the B8 motor, that amount of airflow gets pushed way higher up in the RPM band, so you can make a lot of horsepower, but torque is naturally going to be low, just simply due to the higher RPMs. It's a good idea to upgrade your rods if you want to build a really bulletproof motor. You do rods and pistons, and you can push that motor really hard. You can rev it higher, but I don't think it will be a required mod for the MercRacing supercharger kit. Now, in the B9 world, since we haven't hit a wall on B9 performance, rods are going to be required in the future as we continue to push the power.
Yeah, we're certainly managing the amount of torque we're making there.
Yes.
And we're, hundreds of foot-pounds over what B8, even with the MercRacing charger is.
Yeah. Just ordered my Stage 1 tune for my 2020 SQ5, and I cannot wait to get it. Congrats. These live Q&A sessions helped me make my decision. Love the honesty and no bull approach. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for appreciating it. That's what we're here for. And let us know how you love the tune. It's going to be really fun. Groceries have never been gotten faster.
Be careful how you pack them.
Yeah. Any more updates on the MercRacing blower for the 3.0T? Has there been any new discovery in the limits of the stock DL501?
No, not any new discoveries of limits. What I did do, or took the opportunity to do, is kind of go through and revise and revisit and update and kind of give it a fresh once over on all the DL501 stuff. So we actually are going to have some DL501 updates coming as well due to it. But no, limit-wise, it's still holding just fine. The torque we're making is being managed so far, no problem with it. So,
yep. Man, we got a lot of questions.
We have a lot of questions in here.
Okay, that's an update question. Transmission mount insert B9.5. Do you need to use new bolts, or can you reuse stock bolts? Is it required to torque the M8 bolts to 25 newton meters with Blue Loctite applied? Want to do this at home. We do offer very complete install instructions for these, so I'd recommend you access that. I don't have it memorized. 25 newton meters sounds kind of right for an M8 bolt. What we generally tell people is factory bolts can be reused once safely. After that, the bolt will continue to stretch and may not achieve the proper level of torque. So we do sell replacement bolts on our website. They're not that expensive. So if you're concerned about it, it's a good idea to change them out every time, because factory bolts are torque to yield, but in practice you can reuse them multiple times. We have to be careful. You could probably get in another universe with complete insulation of liability from this one, you could probably reuse them 3 or 4 times. But if we tell you to do that, and then you're driving and the bolt breaks because it's overstretched, then now it's our fault. So
yeah, and we also don't have any control on how that bolt was ever installed previously, like some people will do.
Or verifying how many times it's been used.
Or maybe you think it's the first time you've changed it, but it's been reused 3 times already.
Yeah, it could be. So the safe thing for us to say is replace them every time. They're not that expensive. We can ensure great results every single time. And I feel safe enough to say you can reuse them once. But
what's
like
one
Nate
split.
said, you have no idea how many times that is.
And even, I mean, it's tricky because even new cars at the dealership can and do get, you know, work done on them at times before they actually hit the lot. So, yeah, hard to know. In the ideal world, yeah, everybody has touched it before you replaced it as well. But it's a hard thing to know.
Would love more B9 SQ5 mod options like the S4 has. In
Gracious,
addition to a catch can, I'd just rather give my money to you instead of some other company. Waiting blows, but so does buying for. Oh, thank you. I wish I could hug you right now. We are coming out with all that stuff for the SQ5. The SQ5 application has been very good, and we are giving back generously to it. So pretty much anything that's available for the S4, we're going to strive to make it available for the SQ5 as well, because again, people have been purchasing SQ5 products, and the more SQ5 products we sell, the more we do. So, and I'm sorry, I know waiting sucks. My kids
oh my god,
are currently waiting for Christmas, and I'm hearing about all the presents they'd like at Christmas. I'm like, guys, that's 3 months away.
they're currently waiting for me in the room next door here. So
Well,
I'm sure I'll hear all the things they've been waiting for since I've been over here.
mm-hmm. Yeah, waiting is terrible, but as they say, it's the hardest part. When will the stock injector A10 file come? I know you like the word soon, but are we talking soon or soon? Oh gosh, I feel like we can't say anything.
Yeah, this is the problem. So if we give any updates at all, everybody thinks it's top of the list. So we're working on a bunch of different files. It's like, you know, do we work on that file? Do we work on the 750 file? Do we work on, you know, which is the top priority of the week?
Those are the decisions we make. Yeah. It either benefits people who are waiting or it doesn't. But we don't have any more clarity on the length of time, unfortunately.
I need to go grab a cable. My laptop is about to die.
Oh, okay.
Chewing through its battery.
If I wish to go stage 2, 91 or 94, I hear it doesn't have the cold start. Is it possible to get the cold start in the program?
Unlikely. We don't typically like doing one-offs for cosmetic stuff like that. That is just a cosmetic thing. You could run the stage 1 file and listen to it, and then engine light.
As we discussed, the startup strategy is to heat up the factory cat. If there's no catalytic converter,
I'm not taking that.
Then, or if the factory cat isn't installed, then there's really no need for that type of warm-up strategy. So from an engineering standpoint, it's completely superficial. If enough, yeah, we've had people request it, but I just don't think it's something we would do. Let's see. Intercooler or oil cooler for first heat management mod for EA 888 Gen 3. Definitely intercooler. The point that you need an intercooler is much sooner than the point you need an oil cooler. And I would go as far to say, without an upgraded intercooler, you will never get your oil temps hot enough to matter, because your ECU is going to basically shut the power down. So I would say definitely intercooler. Oil cooler, most cars don't need it. But at some point, if you are getting higher temps, then it's a good thing to do at that point. Any plans to do more wheels? I'd love to get ZTF01s, but the dollar
bills.
Yes, so we are getting close to releasing our Flowform wheels, which we've been working on for quite some time and talking about for a long time. There have been numerous delays, much to our chagrin, but they will be the finest Flowform wheels on the market, we believe, at a very, very attractive price, substantially cheaper than our forged ZTF R01 wheels. So our goal is to get them released in the next month or two. We're working on that, so hang in there. And we are planning on offering some good introductory specials as well, because we really want to get the wheels off the ground and out there. We've invested a pretty insane amount of money into bringing these.
Yeah, wheels are not a small chunk of change to get off the market. Yeah.
Same pops and bangs on R3.0. Yes. I mean, if you have them, if you asked to have them deleted, we will also offer that. B9 S5 already has a stage 1 tune from another company. I'm now looking to go stage 2. Can I just use the 034 tune to overwrite the existing tune?
You
Yes.
can. We usually recommend flashing back to stock just so everything's at a known starting point, but chances are good you can just flash straight to stage 1. I don't think we've ever had an issue to date.
We usually just tell people to.
As long as
to go back to stock.
whoever you flashed with previously, there are some tools out there that like to change security keys and box codes and do all kinds of silly stuff because they don't actually support all of the ECUs. They just migrate everything to one. And so they lock out reflashing from any tool other than their own. So if it's something like that, you will need to flash back to stock first with that tool. But usually we can just flash right over it.
From your knowledge, do test pipes perform better than gutted cats on B8, B9.5, 3.0 T? It just depends. Gutting a stock cat's not a great thing to do. In general, on the B9, it might not be too bad because
it's got a 6-inch hole coming.
Well, the turbo outlet.
I've seen. I mean, some self gut themselves on the B8s.
What you want to avoid is, say, going from a 2-inch pipe to a 4-inch cavity and back to a 2-inch pipe. That's very disruptive to flow. So if you could just have a 2-inch pipe through there, it's going to flow better and more consistently. Because you get these like this pressurization and resonance inside that chamber,
right.
Which
you end up with a tuned chamber for some sort of pulse rate. But
I don't necessarily think you get that on the B9 because it is such a big volume that just goes to a smaller one.
It's also a turbo, so that's a whole other set of exhausting. But no, we've never tested back to back.
We wouldn't know. And then what test pipe? I mean,
test pipe?
There's plenty of test pipes out there that are basically a gutted factory cat.
Yeah, it's like, what combination of hardware are you talking here as well? So yeah, that's a tough one to isolate without lots of work.
Purchase your Dyno Plus tuning bundle for Stage 1 ECU and Stage 2 TCU for a late 2023 8YS3. Is it safe to say there's no break-in period for stock files? Car only has 54 miles on it.
That's interesting. There actually is. I don't know if that is a thing on the GTIs. Some OEM files do have a break-in period and have a different strategy depending on mileage on the motor. However, that strategy is not removed on any of our files, so anything that would be there is still there. I can't, off the top of my head, I don't know if that's a thing on the GTI software specifically, but it would still be there on any of the flash files anyway, because it's all the stock bones on everything else in the file.
We're down to a couple minutes. Let's see. Can I add like 1 gallon of E85 to a tank of 93 to ensure octane is high enough? Will it hurt anything?
I mean, lots of people do it. We don't calibrate for that, so your fuel trims will be off a little bit.
Yeah, the fuel trims would be off. It would be nice if there was like an octane sensor.
Yeah, octane sensor would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I don't think that's
not something that anybody's got production state in their vehicle now.
But innovate Motorsports if you're listening, or AEM.
Are they the same thing? Which one?
AEM was acquired by Holly.
Oh, okay. Now Innovate was auto meter gun.
Yeah, they got bought by Innovator. Anyways,
but yeah, no, it's not likely going to be a negative, other than your trims might be off depending on the ratio. Starting can be a little harder.
But I mean, we have no official stance on you should do that. So we don't tell anyone to do that.
Yeah, outside of any of the mixed files that we specifically list, we do not.
We have tunes for 93 octane. We have tunes for 91 octane. If you're saying that you only have 91 octane, you want to add some 85 to make it match 93, we do not recommend.
Yeah.
Now, if you could somehow do it in a laboratory and determine that it had the same kind of fuel volatility as 93 octane, knock yourself out. But again, we're not here to cause you issues. That's why we're very clear about what you should and shouldn't do. We're not really here to guess or be sloppy with our recommendations.
Yep.
I got a B9 S5. How come the TCU is only R1.0? Has there been or will there ever be an update to the TCU?
Yeah, I mean, there will be updates. I don't know your particular box code and which stage file you're on. But yeah, I mean, some stuff is still at 1.0. Some stuff
Mm-hmm.
it depends on the exact software version. But yeah, I don't think we've done any massive full revision changes on some of those. I think the stage 3 stuff is all still 1.0. I gotta go back and look, but I think all the stage 3 is 1.0.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can email
Yeah.
tuning at 034, but
Yep.
chances are, yes, it's just our 1.0. Anything? I get a lot of clunking on gear and 2 with my
I think it's supposed to be gear 1 and 2.
Gear 1 and 2 with my RS38V. Will the dog bone inserts reduce this? It depends. If something is broken or loose,
We'll fix that.
nothing's going to fix that. So you need to kind of address that. In general, the dog bone arm and inserts do make the drivetrain less compliant, which means there is less movement. Again, there shouldn't necessarily be a lot of clunking on a factory car. So you should probably look into that. If you want to install the dog bone and inserts and at the same time inspect the mounts under the car, that's a good idea. In any event, it can't hurt to add the inserts and dog bone mount. I just don't know if it will fix the problem with a different part. That needs to be solved on its own. They're not magic. They're just, but they will improve the performance of the factory dog bone and configuration. Okay, I think we're pretty much out of time. I think we got through almost everything except 4 or 5 questions.
Yeah, there's one here that I didn't hit it just yet. It's an easy one. If I previously flashed the TCU patch for the 2023 B9.5, do I need to reflash the TCU patch before I flash the new stage 1 revision? No, that has nothing to do with the ECU revision. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, you'll be fine. Just flash the revision on the ECU side and you'll be fine.
What about the top one?
It's not going to override that. Last week you mentioned possibly offering stage 3 tunes to the B9 RS5 cars with locked ECUs. Still think it's a possibility. The testing we've done, it's been okay. So yeah, we've done the same thing with the TCU patch on the ECU side to allow for the stock TCU to work, and it's not been a problem. You're going to miss out on the, of course, the increased revs and some of the other stuff, but hopefully we'll have the TCU stuff soon. Again, I don't want to.
Yeah. How many O's?
Yeah, how many O's are in that soon? But
Nate's the one that says soon.
We're working on a lot of stuff. So there's light at the end of the tunnel.
He did say hopefully soon,
but that doesn't mean the tunnel is.
So is that 2 weeks or?
Yeah. It's hope. It's all in the realm of the hope.
There's much hope to be had. So no, we will get through there. We'll have full files, but yeah.
But there's no reason to wait.
No, for now it seems like all the experience we have, the ECU patched files are
and you can run the standard output file.
Yeah.
Which is still a lot more power than even stage 2. So I'd recommend doing
it considerably faster. Yes, there was a question I saw somewhere asking if it was noticeably faster than.
No, it is.
Stage 1 and 2.
I drove the standard output files on track.
Oh, I'm talking the stock TCU patch.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no, it still can, like, all the torque's still there.
It's still
all the power's still there. It's just your shift points are a little lower, and the shift.
And the TCU will get unlocked, and we will offer a tune for it, and so then you can get another bump of excitement and power.
Yeah, the good news is I think we have all the tunes done on the TCU and on the server already. We're just working out the finals of the actual unlock. So it'll literally be like everybody gets it on day one. All right.
Okay. We good?
Almost. I'm unable to stop the stream. Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and I'm sure we'll see you next week.